made it to the silver screen. Violet heard Eric clear his throat. He was a shy man, and always polite, but she knew he wouldn't stand for any nonsense from Judith. Violet closed the gardening book, sat back, and listened to the unfolding conversation. "Let me put you right on a few things," she heard Eric say. "First of all, Leonie Stanwick isn't opening the festival, although she is our first guest and the festival's big-name author. I thought long and hard about who that person should be, and I stand by my choice. Leonie has local connections, and her work is enormously popular. I sell more of her books in a week than almost any other author." "But this is supposed to be a literary festival," Judith interjected. "Leonie Stanwick's novels can hardly be classed as literature." "It's a book festival," Eric said, his voice clear and unwavering, "which includes non-fiction authors and graphic novelists, as well as writers of genre and literary fiction." "Be that as it may, I do feel you could have been more selective in some of your choices. We want our festival to feature writers of a certain calibre, don't we?" "If by that you mean authors of obscure or highbrow tomes, then no, that's not what I'm aiming for at all. And why are you calling it our festival? Because that's not strictly true, is it? When I asked the parish councillors for help with funding the event, I was told there was no money available. In spite of that, I offered the council a place on the festival's organising committee, but that opportunity was also turned down." Judith began to bluster. "There was no one available to attend," she spluttered. "We've been busy with other things." "So have I," said Eric, his voice firm but courteous, "and so have my wife and daughter, and yet still we found the time to knuckle down and organise everything. I'd say we've earned the right to choose which guest authors to invite." "I don't disagree, but surely the purpose of this festival is to raise the profile of the village. Do you really think having Leonie Stanwick as a guest will achieve that?" Eric gave a loud huff. "I sincerely hope the book festival does, as you put it, raise the profile of the village, but that isn't the only reason we've set this whole thing up. The primary aim is to give readers a chance to meet or listen to their favourite authors, and discover new ones. The festival will also bring people into Merrywell Shopping Village at what is traditionally a very quiet time of year for the retailers. There's always a lull when the schools go back after the summer break and before the Christmas rush begins. I'm hoping the events will bring an increase in footfall that will benefit everyone." A brief pause in the conversation caused Violet to sit up and tilt her head, wondering if she'd missed something. When Eric spoke again, he sounded slightly more conciliatory. "Of course, an additional benefit of the festival is that people all over the world will get to hear about Merrywell," he said. "We'll be live streaming 4 of the events, including the session with Leonie Stanwick. We've already sold over 200 online tickets, and that revenue will go a long way towards recouping the financial investment I've made." Eric's lengthy explanation of the rationale behind the festival failed to pacify Judith's ill temper. "If that's meant to be another dig about the lack of funding from the council, then please save your breath," she said, sounding grumpier than ever. "If you'd given us a little more notice, then perhaps we could have helped. The council's finances are planned well in advance, Eric. By the time you came to us, our budget for this year had already been allocated." "I understand that," Eric replied, "and I'm not having a dig, just stating the facts. The reality is this is my festival, which means I get to decide who and what to include. I realise that Leonie Stanwick's novels aren't to everyone's taste, but no one's obliged to attend her event if they don't want to. There'll be plenty of other sessions on offer. We've put together a varied programme that has something for everyone." "Well, let's hope you've made the right decisions and the festival is a roaring success," Judith said, a peevish tone contradicting her words. "You see, the parish council is considering ring..."